Well, it is 9 o'clock. If you'll join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, we'll go ahead and get started.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you and welcome everyone, both live stream and in person. We've got an agenda before us. Can I get a motion to approve?
I make a motion that we approve the agenda before us.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Set of bills, did you have a chance to go through?
I did.
Yes.
Any questions?
Oh, boy.
Could I get a motion?
I'll make the motion that we approve the bills.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And also one set of minutes from June the 8th.
Look good.
Yep, no changes. All good. Yeah. Make the motion that we approve the minutes for June 8th, 2026.
I second that motion.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we'll turn a little time over to Randy and discuss county buildings. One of these days, we're gonna be done doing this.
I've been coming to a lot of these meetings. 8 years. All right, they're on our grassy area. The sprinklers will be done today. We're gonna lay sod on Thursday morning. Okay.
Did you get the light thing figured out?
Yeah.
By the way, and that's
Lights are, the concrete's poured for them.
their
Powers in.
Power, we take it there. We're gonna have the sprinkler guy trench for one of them today. He's gonna get that trenched in now and get conduit up, so. Yep, that'll be done and rock and roll. The light poles are ordered. As soon as they come, they'll install them, so. Yeah, so we want to lay sod on Thursday. The cost of the sod is $6,615 for the cost of the sod. If we were to have that company install it, it'd be an additional $3,900. But we're gonna have, we have two options on installation. We can buy 4-foot wide by 120-foot rolls, which are giant, and the machine to rent it, they'll rent us the machine to lay it. They said that if we have a lot of kids, it would be easier just to get the small rolls, and that's what we're leaning towards. A football team come and help us to do that. The football team will be looking for a donation though on that. I'll let you guys discuss that when decide what that's gonna be, so.
High school bulletin.
Yeah, varsity football. I've asked Preston, I have not asked Westside yet, so, but, or you can ask them, or you want me to?
I can do if you'd like me to.
If you wouldn't mind calling Pike,
That's, when are we doing it?
Thursday morning, 6:30. The more hands, the better off we are. Laying them, people cutting around sprinklers and boxes. So.
you gonna commandeer that project? I
Yes,
guess?
I'll be there, cause it all comes on pallets, so I just pick it up a skid loader and I just back up as they grab it and roll them off, you know, and
What about the sod in front of the event center, sprinklers there?
that's where they're going next. As soon as they get done here, they're gonna hop over onto that one, so. That'll be just the next project behind, so we'll get that going, hopefully sod within a month on that one. Got sprinklers, got to put some curbing and all that stuff, and then we're ready for something, so. I'll know a better date once they get started on that, so.
Got their close.
Always, the way we roll around here. They showed up, they're pressure washing the front of the indoor arena today. I don't know if he's gonna put a coat of paint on or not, but maybe he will, I don't know. But they are washing it, getting ready to paint the front of that, so. That's happening.
So you've got all the signage down.
Yep, tore it all down this morning, so. It's all gonna get painted. In the next couple of days, it'll be done, so. He's still getting me a back price on extending that arena, how far 50 grand will go. How to put some numbers together, so. That's the route we wanna go, Craig. We don't wanna make one big building. Wanna talk about that?
Well, we wanna know what that would give us. Then we'll
Yeah.
make that decision.
Okay, so.
Right, is that right?
Yeah, I think, lean in that direction, but we just wanna know what that'll get us versus
Yeah.
the big building.
Yeah, 50 grand for the big building, additional. Yep, so as soon as he gets those numbers back to me, I'll just text them over to you and you guys can be thinking about it, figure all that out, so. that's kind of where we're at on things.
What about before you're here? When are you thinking of starting on that?
As soon as the painter will start sanding, I'll call him and see, I'm gonna go talk to him about painting on that. In the next month, you know, we're gonna start sanding all that down, so. It'd be a project rather than always a project, so. Anyway,
Suspect by next year you'll be unemployed.
amen.
It's a thing.
Hey, any other questions for Randy? All right, Randy, keep going strong, but stick around.
Thanks, Randy.
Okay, next on our agenda is Eric Sant with GIS proposal agreement. Yeah, I was gonna say, bring the brains in the operation.
I've got that comment about 3 times already.
Starting to hurt your ego, huh?
I think she reflects well on me. Hopefully.
Hey, Eric, we'll turn it over to you and you can tell us what you're thinking.
I don't. I just kept doing the same thing we've done for several years. Anybody that wants some GIS help, we've done it for them. I've increased price by 3%. That's a really small amount, but that's basically where we are. I'm always open to feedback from you, feedback from Chris, sheriff, whoever.
And I know we've accounted for this in the budgets for this year, right?
Yeah, for the next year.
Or for the next year. You guys have quite, you understand what,
Well, I saw quite a few of his bills come through and but it was a different project, or is that the same one?
it is
Same
same,
one.
Same
it's all
one.
the same project.
Yes, yeah.
How close are we being current?
We're as current as,
As they are over there,
yeah, it's the information we have from them.
give or take.
Yeah, just.
We generally update quarterly.
I was gonna say, it's quarterly, we need to.
That's give or take. We do it more. You say do it monthly, we do it monthly. Quarterly seems the most efficient.
If you have a chance to go through the contract,
I have, Commissioner.
and it's just the same we've always been doing.
Same.
The only, there's one recommended request on my part, that the contract run from September 15, 26 to September 15 of 27.
Is that a typo in it?
Yeah, we're going 26 to 26.
Okay. I can
So I
fix that.
wanted to make sure that's,
Yes.
I can X through that.
A little longer than it is.
Okay, there's no other questions. Yeah, entertain a motion.
I'd make a motion that we approve the GIS service proposal agreement given to us by Mr. Sant for Oxford Mountain Analytics.
All right, we'll second that motion.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
All right,
Aye. Hey. We'll get it taken care of on our end.
Need a new contract come in.
I think if you're okay, that would be good, is to send me that page again. With the change of the date, that would be great. Thank you.
Thanks. Hey, we're just a little bit of ahead of schedule. Let's drop down and Mr. Pearson, let's talk about a Preston Youth football donation.
Thank you, Commissioner. As you're aware, this is actually my last year being the commissioner for Preston Youth Football. I'm turning the reins over to Cody Traveler, if he's in the room, but he's not. He's actually taking it over this year, so I've done this for a very long time, and it's time to turn it over to fresh blood. That being said, I did say I would go, because I'm here and you wouldn't have to. We request the commissioner's help every year in this regard, is giving a small donation to Preston Youth Football to help us purchase equipment for the kids. The program runs, we run 4th grade all the way through 8th grade, so until they get to the high school program. There isn't a specific 4th grade team. The 4th graders play with 5th graders, assuming numbers are accurate. We have the ability, if we had the equipment, to have a 4th grade team, but so far we haven't had the numbers to do that in our community. But I will say his numbers are dwindling in football. And I think that's across the board from high school all the way down through Little League. We're seeing it across the entire Wasatch Front. I can attribute that to a lot of things, but at the end of the day, we're still running our program. Our program runs pretty well. We have one team for every grade. I have great coaches, very confident in the people that are going to be taking it to move it forward. So that being said, we would request, I know, I don't remember what the number is. I think Camille earmarked, I think it was $3,500, I believe, donation. I know this is a question that commissioners always ask. We are able to, have people from the entire Franklin County on our team. We actually cover all of Idaho, so anything north of the border can come here. Not that people want to come all the way to Preston from Malad or from, but they technically could under our bylaws. That being said, so far we've had a few that come over from the west side early on until they have their program, because ours starts a little bit earlier than what they can do, but that would be my request. Thank you for all you've done in the past.
That's always been my question, is that we include the youth from the west side in this, they are included in this.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Do you have just a rough estimate of how many youth are involved in that program?
We're in the middle of signups right now. It ranges. 20 kids in the program. Last year, I think we were right around 90. It just hit, but it's going down like every year. We struggle. Some years we haven't even had a team on a certain grade, but I think football's just become too hard for a lot of people, unfortunately.
There's a lot of high school teams that have high school football teams.
So you look even at Preston High School, we had to cancel the JV season this last year and only had a freshman team and the varsity team. There's a lot of, it's just happened across the board. It's unfortunately a dying sport.
Any questions? You, Zan? No, what's your pleasure here?
I think it's a worthwhile endeavor. We've done it in the past. I think it goes to a good cause and it's a good community.
Sounds like it's gonna come to an end.
Yeah, this might be it, but
Are we put shoes on a lane horse?
The program will never be over. Just so you know, there will always be a program. I don't see that they won't. When I say dying program, I mean just numbers. There's still always your core. It's just, it's not thriving like it once was.
Well, maybe if it would help get Preston back a football team some year.
I think we're on our way.
Good,
I think this year actually
This is
the
it.
varsity is quite good.
very good.
So.
I'd entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the donation to the Preston Youth Football for Vic Pearson's request.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Do you need
The number,
$3,500.
$3,500?
$3,500 donation.
Okay, moved and seconded, all in favor?
All right,
Aye. Okay, next, we'll slide down and do the donate the reval Chevrolet truck to the fairgrounds and replace with the Durango. Who is, Chris, are you doing this one?
Yeah, I guess I am. My understanding that Fair Board needs a pickup truck. We have a pickup truck that we don't utilize the functions of a pickup truck in what we do. So for fuel mileage, for trips to Boise and everything, it's not cost effective for the county to be using it that way. And we are agreeable to move that over to the Fair Board and replace it with a used Durango. I've been looking at Durangos that our other vehicle is a Durango. And I'm looking at vehicles in the 2020 to 22 year range, under 60,000 miles. And we'd be able to get one that's not a rebuild title for under $30,000. To have that be more useful for us. And just move the Durango, move the pickup, the Silverado over to the Fair Board if that's what they need it for.
And the money's in the in reserves to pay for this, right? So
Lana, you guys are, that truck would do very well for you guys, right?
I think so.
Way better than the old yellow Dodge we get rid of.
Yes, I don't have anything at all.
I know, you don't have any trucks at all, so yeah, I think it'd be a really useful thing for the fair board to have.
It's even got a receiver hitch on the back of it, so if they needed to tow a little utility trailer or something, it's there.
Perfect, I like it.
This is the black truck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got no problem with it.
So what would our motion entail here? We'll just to go ahead and surplus donate the Chevrolet truck to the fairgrounds and then authorize the purchase of a Durango.
Yes, please.
I'll make that motion. I'll make the motion that we donate the reevaluation truck from the assessor's office to the fair board. And then, approve the replacement with the Durango that Mr. Barton's been looking at. For them to use in the assessor's office.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Alright,
Aye.
Aye. Hey, thank you. And literally, I mean, the fair's gonna get a lot of use out of the truck. They haven't had a decent pickup over there since 1968.
Whenever that yellow truck was brand new.
We had it at the time. Okay, let's, Maple Creek Ranches, Stephen Bishop. Come on up, state your name for the record, and let's, tell us what's on your mind.
Stephen Bishop, resident Maple Creek Ranches. I'm part of the Maple Creek tribe right here.
Quite a tribe.
We have a tribe, yeah. So I'm sure you're well aware of the issues concerning, well, there's a lot of issues in Maple Creek Ranches. We're not gonna address all those. We're just gonna address roads. So a little bit of history. When I moved in, I remember when the roads were going in. And I was out front of my house, that had just been built. And I was with Guy Arnell, who's the developer. And, he had been telling me for some time that he had been complaining a lot about the county civil engineer, who I guess had a certain respect for the roads, and Guy Arnell saw it differently. And so I guess it had been going back and forth for several years, and they didn't see eye to eye. But I was there, and when Guy Arnell told me to my face, he was very upset. He said, the county says that the spec that I have for my engineer is not sufficient. And I basically said, forget it. I'm gonna just go ahead and do the final, whatever they call that, the final coat or the final chip seal. Which was against what the county's civil engineer was recommending. And so I thought, well, that's not gonna go over well with the county. So anyway, I don't know whatever happened with that, but that was my first inkling that there was something, that wasn't going well. So fast forward a little bit, there's been a dispute between, well, all of the residents of Maple Creek Ranches and the developer. And there's a lot of unhappy people, hence why there's so many people here today. And I remember about a year ago, and I think it was about a year ago, when I talked to Troy Swanson. Troy is Troy here today?
no.
Okay, I talked to him on the phone. They were doing some chip sealing today. He said, I'll try to make it, but I can't guarantee it. So anyway, so I talked to Troy. I said, what's going on with these roads? What's going to happen? And I said, do you think that it's going to get all resolved? And I said, do you think there needs to be a lawsuit, like to instigate it, to try to move this along? And he said, no, I think everything's gonna happen. Because I knew that there had been a bond put up by Guy Arnell. So I guess with phase one, so basically that was my last discussion. So with phase one, I know that they've been going back and forth with Guy, and Guy apparently mistakenly deeded the actual roads to the owners of phase one. And so phase one wants certain things, and that Guy Arnell, I guess, is not willing to provide. And so here we said, right? And now we have kind of a little bit of infighting between phase one and some of the other phases, 2, 3, and 4. And there's understandable. So, you know, I spoke with, a friend of mine who's actually my second cousin, I just learned. Brad Wood, who's here today. I thought it would be good to have him, offer up an idea that I thought would be a great thing for this to be put to rest. So I thought I'd invite him up to go ahead and explain his proposal, what he thinks could work. Sure. So Brad? Yep. Come on up. You're not, see now.
All right.
Brad Wood?
Brad Wood, I'm in phase one of Maple Creek Ranches. Just briefly, to kind of along with what he was saying, we guys brought like proposals over the last number of years, several different proposals that were kind of like, I'll give you this, you give me that, kind of a deal that we never could come to terms or agree with, come to a consensus between the phase one people. And as Steve says, now we've got this thing where we're kind of holding up. We feel like we're, you know, our good neighbors and friends up in phase 2, 3, and 4 are suffering because we can't come to terms with them and get it to where the county can have full access for all the roads to finish the project or whatever. And our last proposal was, it expired on April 15th, the last offer that he gave to us. And we, I think there was, I'm not on the board, I'm just a homeowner there. But I think there was, they tried to negotiate some ideas and they weren't able to come to terms with Guy. So the idea, I don't know if this is feasible or not, but I don't know if we have to go through Guy, or if we could come to terms with phase 2, 3, and 4 on our own, if we could just deed that to the county, or, you know, send it over to the county or whatever it needs, rather than go through that other avenue of having to negotiate something with him in order to do that. So that was just the question that I had. It had to be in on that transaction or not.
So your question is, can you deed your road to the county?
Right. And continue this deal that has to take place to get the roads, you know.
Is phase 2, 3, and 4 already deeded to the county?
Well, I don't know.
Not until phase 1 gets done, then do they meet specifications? 2, 3, and 4?
Well, oh, sorry.
I don't think so, no, you're good, but not yet, it's my understanding, not yet.
They're still not the specifications.
We talked to Randy, I think, and just before this thing expired, like maybe it was around the 1st of April, we just visited for a minute, and he talked about the bond and that he thought, I shouldn't be speaking on behalf of him. To my memory, this is how the conversation went, was that the bond, there was adequate, sufficient in the bond to finish the project, other than they were still nervous about one area where there was a slump or something. And I think there was some concern on our part as well. If we go into this deal as phase 1 and there is an issue with the slump thing, does that become a liability for us or not? But one of the in the proposal, one of the things was that they were going to have the roads finished by April 15th, which was, and he was saying there's no way. I mean, you can't do that until the end of the summer when the ground's hot, you know, do the chip seal and all that stuff. And he said that our roads are pretty close. He thought that we had a few little issues to resolve, to have it up to county standards, but it was, you know, pretty close.
In phase 1,
Right.
but the slumping and stuff like that's a little bit further up.
That's
And
2,
it's
3,
2, 3,
and 2,
and
3, and
4,
4, yeah. So anyway, from what, again, I'm not a member of our board or anything like that, but we're just trying to find a way to try and develop some consensus between all of us so that it can get done, so that they aren't, you know, phase 2, 3, and 4 are suffering forward. And it'd be nice on our part too, to lose the liability of, you know, maintaining the roads and stuff, because there's more and more traffic, there's more people moving into the other phases.
And the idea would be, and I'm not representing 2, 3, and 4 either, I'm just Joe, nobody resident of phase 2, okay, just for the record. But the idea would be that in exchange, not in exchange, that sounds like we're trying to manipulate the county, but what we would like to see happen is, at concurrent with deeding phase 1, again, this has to be voted on with phase 1, then getting the land for the roads, that the county says, okay, we'll go ahead and we'll take that over. We'll take over the roads and we'll maintain the roads. And that would require the roads being also finished, which would require exercising against the bond. So that basically the developer's no longer in the picture in a sense. That we just move forward together because we're the ones left behind, right? I mean, we have a wonderful community of neighbors. We want to be one and remain one. We don't want to have some divisive things eat away at our community. And so we're asking respectfully the commissioners to consider moving forward with just helping us get whatever needs to be finished using the monies from the bond and then just take on the roads. That's the main thing. There's a lot of other issues, trust me. There's a ton of other issues that I won't get into here. It really doesn't serve, but that's one thing we'd like to see happen.
I'm wondering legally, Mr. Pearson, if that's, and you maybe not want to answer that until you've done some research, but could we exercise that bond that way? Is that what that's for?
I wouldn't be able to give you that opinion right now.
That's my first question.
Yeah, the reality of it is this, is the developer is required to do certain things and respectfully to all of you, they're asking you to step into their shoes to finish to get the project done that the developer hasn't because he's not doing what he promised them to do. That's just the reality is what they're asking. Fortunately, it's probably not, in my opinion, where we should be, but there are certain legal ramifications that we have in terms of the bond that are being discussed, but he's got to follow through for certain things before we adopt those roads, and that's why we're required. That's why we haven't done that yet, but it's a lot more complicated than what I give you in those few seconds.
But respectfully, the reason why there is a bond, the whole purpose for the bond is if the developer does not comply with what he said he would do. That's why it's there. It's not designed to be there in perpetuity, just hanging out there.
The other reason too is in case it's a warranty. It's a warranty on the roads. That when they are done, the county does take them over. That
1 year later.
1 year later is so it's an addition to it's both of those.
So it's not only to finish it if he doesn't, but it's also to cover the warranty when he
When
does.
it slumps in phase 3 and we got to go in there and spend
We need
$250,000.
But if you have the developer who is not willing, based on results, not willing or to make it happen, and perhaps part of that is where phase 1 and the developer need to come together, but I don't see that happening. I don't see phase 1 and developer coming together. But I do see phase 1 being able to work something out with phases 2, 3, and 4, so that we can remain a close-knit community and not have finger pointing going on. Because really, the reason why we're here is because things have not been done, right? So, yeah, we are asking for the commissioners to step in. You know, should it be the individual homeowners? All we did is we came in, we bought a lot, we built a home on our lot. That's what we did.
Assuming there would be a hard surface road across.
Well, the hard surface road was there, but, you know, was it done correctly? You know, was it done? You know, the guy told me that he said, forget the county, I'm doing it. Now, I don't know if that's true from the county's perspective. I just know what he told me directly. And he was human. And he told his guys, do it. Get it done. And it's basically, this is what we're gonna do. So I don't know, I haven't pursued this on the county side to find out if in fact that was done without a final permit to do the last chip seal. I don't know. So I would like to know. I'll find out with Mr. Moser. Yeah. But yeah, we are asking the county to please, I mean, we are your constituents, we are your residents. So we're asking you, the reason why you are here is to hear concerns that residents have. And so, yeah, we are kind of a little bit at your mercy, but we're asking for mercy.
Paying taxes.
You know, we're asking for mercy. We're asking for some help to get resolved because it shouldn't rest upon a single resident to file suit and carry that burden.
What about the HOA though? I mean, the HOA, ultimately, it seems like, I mean, again, I'm not a lawyer, so, but it seems like as the way that a private home ownership HOA is set up, you know, they would be the ones to interface with that developer. Again, maybe even legally, to the point where you need to civilly go after the developer before the county has before we start getting into things and how's it have we exhausted those means yet?
Yes.
I mean, is there a lawsuit that you brought against them?
No, well, there's not a lawsuit. There's not a lawsuit, but that comes back to the whole point of the bond. From my perspective, it's like, if things were not done, let's have the county step in and enforce that as a county, not as Joe Blow resident. That's a lot to put on one resident.
Can I say something? My husband snowplows,
And state your name for the record.
Gary Hugo. My husband snowplowed for a year. He was told it was $400 a push. He did it for $400 a push. We found out the guy lied, and it was $800 a push that the other fellow did before us. He told us $400. But no one plowed. No one was up there, and no one, and people couldn't get out of their house unless they had equipment. No one this last winter, so my husband could jump in his truck, pushed, sent Guy Arnell the bill, and he said, "Bye, I'm done." He says, I'm washing my hands of the place." He said, "Bye." He's done. His wife died, sick and died. He's an older gentleman. Do we get the daughters involved? We don't know how big this mess is gonna get. He doesn't live here. He doesn't. Now, he's got a lawyer who says, "Talk to my lawyer, I'm done." He's done. So he pushed it for free. The guy said in the text and said, he said, "Here's the bill for $800. And the guy says, "I'm done. Bye, see ya." So what do you do?
Well, I
For the
think,
developer that walks away.
yeah,
He's locked.
I think right now, we don't have an answer of what we're gonna do. But I think it's easy for us to do some homework and find out what that answer could be. But sitting here in this room right now, I mean,
Right.
we're not against you, we're not,
We understand.
we have to do it legally and
Right.
through the right channels, and we don't know what those are right now, because we've never had.
I've met with Troy for an hour in his office and talked about every bit of this, and he said to me, there is a bond that we feel will cover everything. Well, that's what we're asking is what, the developers walked away, so does the bond just,
Well, and see, those are all things we need to find out. Has the developer walked away? I mean,
Well, he
you're
will-
saying the city has, but he hasn't told us he's walked away. And the road guys don't know that he's walked away. So what I'm saying is we're more than happy to help where we can. I think,
I understand what you think the bond, in my head, I'm thinking the same thing, that's what that bond's for, we should be. If we exhaust all our other resources and to get to that point.
That's why I really
And
like.
you feel like we have, but we gotta do some research to find out.
yeah, we got to find out what.
Yeah.
Right, we've been kind of quiet for the last couple of years, but now it's reached a head, and we don't want to go into another winter with the same issues. And maybe he hasn't walked away from the development technically, but when you have somebody bearing the burden of moving snow as let's call it a church service, do you know what I mean? Like, that shouldn't be, you know?
Well, it's not fair for us to be asking our attorney questions in this meeting because he hasn't had time to look at anything. So
Right, of course.
just let us
Do a little homework.
let us do some
Right,
homework
absolutely.
and find out how it works on the bond. Because Mr. Stewart's right, the bond serves two purposes. It's both to finish the project and the warranty period on the project. Should it go to pot 9 months after it's done, we still got the bond to fix if it goes to pot. And so, right, that bond serves two purposes. Sitting right here, I can tell you, I started dealing with Mr. Guy Arnell Some years ago when I was on the planning and zoning, so I'm aware of this situation up there. I was in on it from the start and it's not been a pleasant situation.
Taxes paid for snow removal?
Say that again?
Not
in private- not in
private development.
Not on a private road.
So what about the garbage truck? Why does the garbage truck come out there?
You're lucky, I guess.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say that too loud.
Well, I mean, just what snowplow garbage truck?
Yeah, it's a private road and we don't go on private.
Okay, so wasn't it part of the original plan when the development was approved to have it eventually have the roads taken over by the county?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Okay,
I know that.
That was the,
So we
the
just-
plan.
we just are asking you respectfully to help us to expedite the process of getting the roads transferred over to the county so the county can maintain, and that may require phase one to say, okay, we'll go ahead and deed the land over for the roads in exchange for, or with the consideration of having the county say, yeah, okay, we'll take the roads over. Oh, but the county would say, well, we're not gonna take the roads over because the roads have not been done to spec.
yeah, that's.
And that comes right back to the bond. It's like, well, how long does that bond hang out there? Is it just for sites, or do we just look at it and go, that's a pretty bond? You know, so anyway, we don't want you to misinterpret. We're not against our commissioners. We're just asking for help from our commissioners to help us get it resolved. Because no single resident.
Yeah, I think we get where you guys are.
Yeah, I'm
We
with
don't
you
feel
for it.
like.
So you love us.
Yeah, yeah.
Why wouldn't?
Okay.
That's a strong word to open.
That is strong.
Is it like, is there standard county code that has any time requirements, or is it wide open until someone does what they do?
Again, that's a question that we have.
I'd love to see the answer on that one too, see way past, a completion date that he would have had the code, let's say code.
Right. So we'll see you every 2 weeks.
Clean off little bits and pieces of what,
We've had that contingency in here too, Kevin.
Yeah,
Too many meetings ago.
why he's just doing whatever.
Bad deal all the way around.
Doing, but he's selling off more and more and more and more.
We were told they were private roads, that they were, public roads. When we were sold the property.
No, well, somebody can tell you the complete truth.
I like this thing.
Well,
How do you communicate back to us if you get information? Is it back to Steve since he's the one that filed here for the speeder, or someone, or?
Well,
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta give us time to do the homework, so we'll have to get with Troy, see where we're at on.
We'll give you a total
We'll have
48 hours.
We'll have development code and look at all that stuff.
No, we know and knew coming into this.
What's your
meeting.
phone number, Stephen?
It is, okay, for the record,
The way, we can do that.
I'll do it after.
Let's do it.
You know,
I got Brad's.
You know what, I'll come up and write.
I've got Brad's
mine
phone
and
number,
Brad's.
so.
So, yeah, I'll just.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got absolutely.
I don't know what I got. I should do. Zero. Okay, got it.
Hey, thank you guys.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. In touch.
Okay. Shannon, I see here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Come on up, Janet.
Clear the room.
Chair, this is Krista's baby, really not mine, but as I. Would be the one that happens to that.
Yes, so it'll be both of you.
Yeah, it's his fault. Gonna make the fire.
Yeah, I was gonna say, excuse me, I wasn't even here.
Taking the fall for this.
All right, the first little guy's name's Dan Gaines. He bought the house in May of 2022. He signed the homeowner's exemption.
And we received it.
And they got it, but
he came in the other day to pay his taxes and he said, why is my taxes so much higher? I said, well, you're the golf course. He said, but everybody else is higher. And I went, you don't have the homeowner's exemption on your taxes. He should have had it for 4 years. He didn't get it. He didn't even know what it was. So I sent him over to Chris. So Chris has come back. Yeah, he should have had homeowners for 4 years. So, there's a different, you see where I did the difference. If you give him the full amount, because it was totally our fault, it's $3,892.74. But if you just want to give him half, because so you should be looking at your tax statements, but anyway, so that's your decision, whatever, if you want to give him full 4 years back, full credit, or if you want to give him half 4 years back.
What we have is he applied for the exemption when he was supposed to. We received it we being the assessor's office, received it. It's in his parcel card. It was not put into the computer. So he did everything he was supposed to receive that, and effectively was denied the exemption because it wasn't processed and was not notified that he was denied.
We just overlooked it.
Protocol on these, we have so just so you guys know to see, we have a fund that we've set aside to make the taxing entities whole. Should things like this arise and run hard, that
So, yeah,
It's on our back.
the districts don't lose any
so the
money.
districts don't lose their money. But I'm just trying to remember, help me, Janet or Chris, have we done the half, have we done the whole?
If I was just done half,
That's what I thought.
said, it's their responsibility to look at their taxes too, but like I said, this guy didn't even know what it was. He goes, what's the homeowners? Because he came from out of state, so, but
But he done the paperwork.
yeah, he had done the paperwork.
He'd done the
He should have
paperwork
had it.
and he should have had it.
Well. Okay, tell us about the second one.
This is, Gary Luritzen, and he built a new house last year and he got taxed for 3 months. And he signed the homeowner's exemption. It should have went on there. For 3 months, he should have got the homeowner's exemption, so. Because if you want to give him half,
On that one, we've redesigned our process, and the exemption got missed on our end, for 3 months of occupancy. So he gets taxed for the 3 months. He did sign the application for the homeowner's exemption, and, we found that as, okay, we messed up on that one. So for 3 months of homeowner's exemption, he should have had the homeowner's exemption on 3 months of occupancy.
Is there a question about occupancy?
So he has occupied it, but he has not received an occupancy certificate. He hasn't got a final inspection yet.
What?
So I would give anything back.
So the whole amount on his is 233,
if he gave it to him, yeah.
and half would be one.
No, the whole thing was 466.68.
Okay, the half.
Without it, yeah. 233 would be a half of one. Well, and if you wanted to divide that in half again. half would-
No, I just thought that was the total, so I
So,
thought we'd divide that in half.
How come he hasn't received final inspection, he hasn't requested it?
Question.
so how do they get on the occupancy? How do you guys do it if you haven't got final?
The regulation is when they occupy it, it doesn't matter whether they're occupying it legally. When they occupy it, they're taxed.
Okay.
Which makes sense. If they're in it, they should be taxed. Yeah.
But I would think they would qualify for an exemption unless they redo it legally correctly. Throw it back on him.
Did he come in and request this,
You just came
or
in
did you
and
just find that there was,
we just found it.
you just found it?
Well, there again, they asked, why would, and then when we look, we go, oh, you don't have. that.
Well, everybody comes in and says, well, is my tax so high? I mean, that's not an odd statement.
You can tell them why, but if there's a missing homeowner's exemption, that's quite.
I think the important thing to remember is if it's our mistake, we ought to own up.
That's what I'm thinking, especially on this first one.
Yeah, I agree with both of them. I did,
I mean, if it's our mistake, we own it too.
yeah, we should penalize them.
Why are we better than anybody else?
Right, I guess,
They don't.
as a follow on to that, I would say, like, I mean, do we have any, do we have procedures in place to try and keep that from happening, you
Yeah,
know?
we're right now, my appraiser department is writing a program to go through and find where any others that might be out there.
And this isn't new. I mean,
No, yeah, it happens.
You think of all the parcels in this community and you're gonna miss one here and there. That's why we developed the fund.
Yeah.
To keep the taxing districts whole should one of these come up.
It's like that idea.
Mr. Commissioner Wilson, for what it's worth, I think Mr. Henry is right, though. Somebody isn't legally occupying a residence. They're not legally occupied now. They have not done their final inspection. So I think you have some enforcement in that regard, in that ability. I mean, you have somebody that is not legally occupying a residence if they have not done their final inspection.
How do they get the form? The homeowners exemption from, how does that?
When the appraiser goes up to measure, he brings them the
Can
form.
we say, hey, we were willing to give you this back if you will comply with a
State law.
occupancy? I think for that particular one, that would be my recommendation. Is say, hey, we'll give you this money back, but you gotta.
As soon as we have a signed.
Yeah, as soon as you have a signed occupancy.
Permit.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to have it.
Really, that would help on his side too.
Yeah, I like that idea.
That could be a great policy throughout the county. You won't get any homeowners exemption unless you get your final inspection. People who don't have the finance to build their homes don't care to get a COO. And I can't force them until if they have a bank, their bank requires it. They don't have a bank. Yeah.
And I didn't do a half of his. I mean, if you wanted to do a half of a half, I didn't do that, sorry. That's just half what his taxes were.
Well, my recommendation is gonna be, I mean, I know it stinks because it's kind of our mistake, but I'm willing to go half on both of them, but the second one, 0 until we have the certificate of occupancy. Because as far as we're concerned, I guess maybe he's not living there. So there's.
I thought you said you wanted to own up from states.
That
That's
one,
why
the
you
whole
own
one.
half.
All right, I'm fine. Either way, I just know the other one better. However you want to do it.
So my thought was, the first one for Mr. Gaines, that we give him the entire money back. That would be my,
Okay,
and then for.
Contingent on the next one.
Yeah, and then on the second one, it would be, I'd give him the whole money back as well, contingent upon
As soon
giving a
as we have the
certificate of
certificate.
occupancy. I said, I guess I would make that motion, but
That's a
that's,
form of motion.
you restate that, are you good with that? Send my motion.
State it. Okay.
I'll make the motion that for Mr. Gaines, we refund the money, the $3,892.74, the entire amount. And then for Mr. Lawrence, that we also refund the entire amount, which is $466.68, contingent upon applying for and receiving a certificate of occupancy.
Okay, except for that he should only get 233.34, which would be half. He would, that's what his taxes
That's
would
what,
have
okay,
been.
so, then, yeah,
Okay.
So,
and then the 466, 233.34, because that's the whole amount.
I second that motion.
moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And these are the only two we've had this year. And just so you know, that fund is $15,000. So we should still be.
Very good.
okay,
Well done.
I'll wait for you to cut me a check now, and then I'll send the little guy a letter. Saying how to.
But let's make sure Randy gets that
Yeah.
before we do that.
I'll
second.
send him a little letter. I don't know that I have his phone number, but I'll look. And tell him we will reimburse him some money as soon as he gets that certificate. Thank you.
Very good. Thanks.
Mhm.
Thank you, Vic, for keeping us straight on that one.
You're welcome.
Uh,
Brandon, yes,
thank
good
you.
words.
Yeah, but it's every year, so we don't listen to
We
everything.
don't give it.
Okay, let's move on to subdivision approvals. First one on our list is Michael Taylor, minor land user. Sean, Randy, I guess you guys are.
Is any needs?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay. What we have, this is kind of a. So
There- If you go down to the red PDF, that's where all three of them are sitting. Over the, everyone more,
Yeah.
that one, so you can pick out which one you
And
need.
then we have.
No, this is got the cover. This is got the.
Yeah.
Like.
And if you can state his name.
This is still.
Yeah, they get. I'm looking at that.
Give you his other things. This and this is the cover.
Oh, wait, no.
I was waiting.
This is when.
Oh, yeah, this is.
This is the one I requested
There it is, right here.
Where's your, oh, yeah.
Alright, so we're just past the Cover River Ranches here. So we have Cover River Ranch, and we're talking about this piece of property that's located right here.
No, let's go back. It's in the wrong read.
So here's Cover River Ranches,
Yes.
so it's going up Cover River Road, Aaron Hole is right here, so it's right across, kind of across street from Aaron Hole, no Aaron Hole.
They developed the corner already. They got a, they put a building lot. Trackle's been in there and put a building lot on it.
I don't know if we're talking about the same property or not.
I'm pretty sure we are.
They've dug a hole.
They haven't dug a hole, they just flattened out a spot.
Oh,
They just
They're
flattened out.
doing
a
a
spot.
prep, okay.
Yeah, just doing some prep work, put a road in and flattened out a spot.
I need this. Okay, so that's the place. So on this parcel, oops, so there's a home currently on this property, this property.
Yeah, right there.
Okay. So he wants to sell, Mr. Taylor wants to sell this old lot, correct?
No,
No,
the
just.
the little lot's already sold long time ago.
Oh, okay. So he's trying to divide this off.
Yeah.
He's gonna sell it to Mr. Steele here, okay? And then Mr. Steele's gonna do another development on that property. That's why he's gonna represent both of them. He's on both of these, so, yeah. I could say it's dividing this property to sell. Which is,
And Mike owns,
I thought we could have done this on one plan.
Mike owns
What I'm doing.
the bottom
This is the
piece.
plat. For this, right? This is, this plat here,
Mhm.
you be what you're doing,
Yeah.
why don't you buy it?
Yeah, all of that. I guess mainly because he should have done it before he sold it to Mr. Steele. He didn't know, so we're catching it
Going
up.
back in time.
So that's what we're doing, we're catching it up so that he could sell it legally to Mr. Steele, and then Mr. Steele can do his.
And he owns that where the cursor is, and then in the bottom right corner, that whole,
Yeah, he owns below the canal spot.
not, just go move your cursor there, he owns that one. He doesn't own the other two big
Oh,
parcels.
I feel
Okay.
it. Wait. That's this first one, he just wants to be able to sell off that 13 acres. to Mr. Steele.
And then you divided it into 3 parcels there, 13 acres.
Two additional.
So we gotta first approve this one before we can talk about that.
Okay,
We gotta approve this one first.
So Michael, Michael Taylor, to divide his property, divide 13 acres off of his property. His, the other one was already his free split, this is Woody, his second division off the original parcel.
There's 10.
Right there.
This would be split number 2.
Yes, this is split number 2.
And there is no irrigation water on it, right?
He said it was dry farm, I called Michael.
And entering the properties right off the county road. Is that a?
Yeah.
Right,
it's not
right.
the county road.
yeah, it's up.
Who knows, Troy been out there to.
Yeah, I met Troy out there and he walked through it and approved to give me permits for both accesses.
That's about right there.
Yeah. There's an access there and then one just, yeah, just between those two. Kind of, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Any questions? Stan, any questions?
Well,
Entertain a motion.
we'll make a motion that we approve the Michael Taylor minor land division.
I'll second that motion.
Moved to second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Dave?
Now we'll jump to the dates.
To the next one, which is the same one.
Yeah, this was that same property that we just divided up. He wants to create 3 lots on it, so 3, 4, and then 75.
So this is number, so this is 5 splits now.
Yeah, this is the, and before you go to the subdivision. So 2.5 acre lots and then an 8 acre lot. He's met with Troy again, like he said, and it looked like you're gonna share an access.
Yep.
Right there for these 2 lots and then that other access, little access to the other lot. They have subject approval for all 3 lots and they meet all our rules and requirements for the division.
I guess it's well drilling for water.
Yeah.
It's good name. You know,
Zach, you got any questions?
No.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the David Steele minor land division as per.
and I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You go. You're in.
Now. Should the 8 acre parcel ever be split, then you got drawn with wells.
Yes, yes.
But they just can't carry it outside water.
Right, and over here, the flower beds and all that. Okay,
One more.
Brian. Brian,
hey guys.
How are you?
It's just, you
feeling
know,
better this week?
what's that?
You look like you're feeling better this week. Last week you were.
I was gonna send it to you 2 weeks ago and I didn't.
Yeah, you gotta come see me today, though. You can't.
Okay, I need to.
All right, there's 4-1, this is out by our landfill. Right across the street from what we just approved last week. A few weeks ago, last time we were here, the car, he won the borders us. So, where am I? Oh, push for, sorry. Yeah, so Carly's right here.
Yeah.
Carly, this is this property right here. Because the developer didn't divide this legally, each property owner has to come through to get their permission. That's what they're doing. It's the exact same one. Road improvements have been done. Septic approval's been given. Troy signed off on the roads. They paid to have the power to be brought in. They are trying to get 20 acres of that. And 30 something acres.
So there's no requirement for them to have to have participated in that road construction.
They did already. It's with the car.
Now that's okay.
He held it against their car. He built this road.
They worked on it together.
Okay.
Yeah, so they improved the road from the landfill down to these properties. So, this is just the second half of that, of the development, so.
And this parcel does not come all the way out to the road, right? Just in the corner.
Isn't that upper corner?
Oh, no, it borders the whole road.
What's that?
That dash line.
What's that one?
This is the center line of the road.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What's that dash line that goes straight down?
That's the section line, yeah.
Oh, that's a section line. Okay, I thought it was property line. I was gonna say he only joins in the corner. All right, that makes sense.
No water.
There's no water.
They're not there.
Any questions?
Over flat.
Any questions from there? I don't entertain them.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Juanita and David Porter.
It's be Blaine, sorry.
David or Juanita and Blaine.
Yeah, right.
I make a motion that we approve the Juanita and Blaine Porter minor land division.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Need something signed right there, it's fine.
No, you wanna,
I'll stop right and see the stuff.
I'm not gonna call it, this is too far away.
I'll find it. But it's only, I just, thanks, Frank. I'm ready. Okay, Sarah. Yeah. The mystery person. You are a mystery person.
Oh.
For a week, I said, who is this Sarah Williams? And it dawned on me last night. Oh, you Sarah Williams.
Thank you so much.
Took me a week.
That's okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
So this is our mosquito abatement grant from the Department of Health and Welfare that we applied for. And we were awarded $3,500. And we can use it for pretty much anything to do with abatement. We can use it for labor, dry ice, test kits, so
When,
pretty cut and dry.
I mean, it was light reading, but when I went through it last night, it seemed like to me it was a little more strict than what you're making it sound.
There's pretty strict reporting.
Is that what it is, the
Yeah.
reporting part?
But we did it every year, so it's, we know what we're doing.
Do we have something in mind for it right now? Or-
Said he's gonna buy some test kits. So he knows for about $2,500 per kit, so that'll cover most of it. And then just depending on, we have enough dry ice to cover that other 1,000, or we can do labor too.
It's one we do every year.
Yeah.
Any questions?
No.
Any questions?
No.
I entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we sign the state of Idaho contract number HC 9584 mosquito surveillance activities grant.
I second that motion.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Thanks, Sarah.
thank you, Sarah. Put your first name on from now. Let's slip down to Sumner County Business. We have the computer arts agreement. You guys have a chance to look at that.
Briefly.
It went up just a little. It does have a new paragraph in it about AI. It was even in light of reading them, yeah, I don't know how you go through these things, because they are painful. Have you had a chance to look at it?
I reviewed both the stuff on the last one you approved and this, and sorry, I was thinking I just got the roll.
Minor changes in price, they weren't huge, but there was some. I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the computer arts agreement.
Is there a second?
Yes, I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We do not need a board of equalization. We can do a quick Ford County Mr. Meeting update. Mr. Bowles attended that in Clemente County last week.
Yeah, we had a good meeting. The new two Bear Lake County Commissioners were there that voted in. Barry Thompson went over the public safety manager and he says if we haven't do a 5-year update, we need to do a 5-year update on our hazardous plan order to get FEMA involved. If we ever have a national disaster, I don't know if we've ever had FEMA involved.
We had FEMA involved in the floods about 4 years ago.
And if we involve them, we have to have an up-to-date 5-year plan, hazardous mitigation plan. I don't know who writes that in the county for sure.
Wouldn't that be
Lamont. And they did say Lamont's up to speed. If they did say that. We talked a little bit about prosecutor offices and what the other counties are using and how they're doing it. And, it really doesn't apply much here. We also talked about the senior citizens, and that they're all kind of funding their senior citizens too. We're in pretty good shape in our senior citizens because of generous donations that have came in the last couple of months, so we're really appreciative. And we've contacted those people, and I also have a mutual aid agreement. If you pass that to Vic, it's the same one that we've always had. We kind of went over briefly between the 4 counties that we have a mutual aid agreement of some big disaster hits that we assist and help the other counties. And this is the MOU that we've had signed. They would like us to review it, come prepare to sign it again.
Could you,
Better thanks me.
give me your review that, we'll put it on for 2 weeks and. Absolutely. Okay, thank you.
We got to the. We got to the solid waste junk ordinance. They said really the only teeth in that is if we get the DEQ involved and then it goes against their taxes. Otherwise, who's it gonna be? I mean, if it's really a nasty, and who determines what's nasty? there's not a lot of guidelines. Who determines what's junk and what's not junk? What's junk to you might be, you know,
That's true.
might be a big deal to me. It's not junk. It's property that I'm proud of.
We do have an ordinance in Franklin County though, that if you're gonna have that, those items around here, that needs to be behind the fence, they can't be seen.
Yeah,
Little stuff like that we've done. I just know that we're getting, it's starting where it's headed in the county, and there's quite a few eyesores out there.
It's just, you know,
Need to be cleaned up.
accumulation of junk is subject to, you know, subjective.
You're right, what's junk to you may not be,
Bill.
but the fact is, get it behind the fence so the neighbor doesn't have to.
Oneida County had a public hearing, and food commissioners got to go around with their head pretty low. So once after that public hearing, it got pretty rough. It didn't really solve anything, it's just so.
We do have an ordinance.
So,
we can,
we ought to review that someday.
or just enforce.
And what about a dead animal ordinance? We have a dead animal ordinance still. I kind of brought that up because we have a little problem going on there in Fairview with that. We have a dead animal ordinance, not burying them.
Well, they were for sale at one time, we were charging to take the landfill.
Are we still doing that?
No, they don't charge for dead
Okay.
animals.
And we set the next meeting for September 9th. We're hosting that meeting at 10 o'clock, and I told them let's do it in the event center. So they get a chance
I
to
wish she was still here.
see the event center, yeah,
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. On September 9th. I think that's back on a Wednesday for you, Robert.
Hallelujah.
But it was a good meeting. It's fun to meet with the other counties, and we all face similar challenges, and it's one of my favorite meetings, actually. Yeah.
Hey, good report, thank you. Zach, you want to take just a few minutes and do a herd district update?
Sure, yeah, just to update you guys, over the last couple weeks, I've been looking at the paperwork that we have, the signatures and the reports and the things that we received from our herd district committees, really over the last few years that there were some questions on. And in reviewing those, in my estimation, it appears that we have the correct documentation and paperwork to proceed forward with maybe another public hearing and that ordinance development, and then to make a decision. I think we're to the point where we need to make a decision on what we want to do with the herd districts, and that livestock ordinance. There's, nothing new came from that research that would lead me to think that we're going down a wrong road. And so, rather than just keep kicking it down the road and waiting, my recommendation is we make some sort of determination on when we want to have our next meeting, if that's our next public hearing. And I think that's basically mostly on the livestock ordinance changes that we are looking at making. And then once we do that, my recommendation would be we move forward with a decision, whatever that might be.
Do you have any questions?
No, maybe we ought to see if Sheriff Stoker has anything to say along those lines.
Sheriff, did you get feedback on that? Changes on the ordinance or of any sort?
Yeah, so that last email that I provided each one of you had the recommended changes highlighted, and then that one specific letter as well. That was the last email that I provided.
Okay.
And we should all have that.
Maybe sitting on my printer actually still.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I guess I don't know, when do we want to try and have?
July is kind of a tough month, but what if we do it in August?
August, September.
I love doing August if we could.
Do it in August so that it's when the cows come home,
Coming off the range.
They've got some, yeah.
they understand what the laws are in the
So
county.
do we have to have new signs made then again and all that kind of stuff, I assume?
So I think we could just put a sticker
Put a
on those.
date up,
We can just change it. That's why I had you hold on
That's
to
why
the signs.
kept them, we'll just put a sticker over.
Same date. Same date.
Yeah.
Good call. Okay.
Okay. I like it, let's
Set a date.
tentatively shoot for. Let's get the ordinance finished.
Yes, and then
Make sure we're all in agreement on, make sure Vic likes what's going on and the sheriff is on board and
set a date.
and then we'll set a date sometime in August for another public hearing.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, we're ready for some fiscal year 2027 budget requests for the start with Mark in the ambulance. I knew I saw you sneak in.
What's that?
I saw you sneak in.
Oh, yeah. He's not a very good sneaker. So did each one of you have a copy of it?
Yep, we did. Yep.
Thanks for coming.
Okay, the first page is revenue, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Mark. You got it?
I'm just pulling
You want
my
mine?
copy of it.
You want something bigger from your phone to read it off of?
Well,
Cause I have, what I did is I took yours and just put it. I couldn't get yours to fit much bigger.
okay, basically a lot of this, are unknowns with the ambulance because we just have to take a guess on what's happened in the past and what's going on. There's a few items in here like the, grant. We have applied for a grant for, QRU and some other equipment.
What's a
Quick
QRU?
response unit.
Quick response, you know?
Yeah, Dr. Bryce is what's gonna be the recipient of this. And that would allow him to run around and come on scene with ambulance calls or fires or anything like that.
An actual vehicle?
It's a vehicle.
Okay, yeah, you, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it'll be a,
Truck or something like that.
well, kind of a pickup or a SUV that he could carry some equipment.
Ford
in.
Pinto?
Pretty close. Yeah. So that would be what that one is. And we put the total amount that we requested for the grants from the state of Idaho grant, and then that'll just be adjusted when we get them or when we don't get them. But we do have the extra full-time employee that's been hired now that is really working out well. Well, we got Hannah and Callan both there in the office and able to be there.
We're getting caught up on our past, you know, you're staying pretty current now, we're getting some of that past.
They are.
Caught up, very good.
Yeah, they are. So it's going forward and it seems to be working really well.
Yeah.
Do we have another grant out there floating for another ambulance?
Not for an ambulance.
Not for an ambulance.
No, we went for the QRU and then next year we'll go for another ambulance.
So the machines we got now are
Pretty current.
pretty reliable.
I
Because
don't
always
think,
been GMs instead of.
I don't wanna get into that part of it, but we have, one ambulance, two ambulances that are in service, still have over 100,000 miles on them. And so that's quite a bit for an ambulance. And the rest of them are fairly good. So we've got a fairly good fleet right now. But if we can get the grants for,
Always keep one,
they always want to.
I'll have one on coming.
Yeah.
Because it takes over a year
Yeah,
to get one.
yeah.
2 years.
2 years to
To
get
get an ambulance. The last two we got before this, right through the middle of COVID, 3.5 years. So that hurt. But we've got, cots, auto load cots in all of them now except for one. So that making it a lot easier to get patients in and out of the back of them. Because the patients aren't getting any smaller.
So I see you've upped supplies by 5,000.
Yeah, and the supplies, are the incidentals that we use, the vacuum mattresses, things like that. Every time we send a vacuum mattress off, like we lost 2 of them last month because we transported patients to, like both of them went to Logan Regional. And broken femur and back issues and and we take them down there and drop our patients off, and we never get the vacuum mattress back. And those are about $1,000 a piece. Are they reusable after, are they? Yeah, we reuse them, we clean them up. Once in a while, we'll get in an accident, get a piece of glass and it'll cut one to where it doesn't work, so then we have to try and patch it. There's no procedure to getting something back when you take a patient in? Well, if we go to Ogden or Salt Lake, they usually put them on either UPS or FedEx, ship back to us. Ship them back. I had my son go crawl through all of the ER down there and everything 2 days after we dropped them off. They said, oh, we don't know where they go. So.
$1,000.
We had a bill hospital for them. Yeah. For $1,000. We're hanging around waiting for it maybe or something, I don't know. Well, a lot of them, like, when we take them in there, they'll leave them on them for the next 2 or 3 hours before they get them off. So it's kind of hard to hang around that long.
What falls under the miscellaneous budget that we have that one 5,000?
Miscellaneous is just some of the things that we can't find an actual place to fit them. And so it covers kind of a wide range, and it could be some equipment sometimes, and it could be office. You know, if we have to do something with the computer or something like that, that's just what we do with the miscellaneous.
Questions?
No question.
Bill?
No questions for me.
Hey, Mike, do you know our magic words? We put them in the blender and we stir it around.
Yes, I understand that.
Out the other end.
That's kind of what we do to get to this point.
There you go.
So, because like I say, we never know. We're already a little over 400 calls this year, 400.
Year to date?
Yeah. So it's been a pretty busy time for us.
Summer's just starting.
Yeah, the summer just got here. We think it started in March. That's
Officially Saturday.
Yeah.
Started in March.
Thanks for all you're doing.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Neil. You want to take the hot seat or you want to stay right there?
I'll just stay right here.
We'll talk about auditor district court elections.
Yep. And then the auditor one, we are in need of another survey cabinet. I did call the East File. And the salesman, he's been really good to us in the past and has been able to find us some scratch and dented.
Loves great.
If he cannot find one, it's about $3,500. And that's where we house our plat maps. So as we get surveys, that's where we house them. So that's my big one there. The district.
Was there a paper on that?
I don't see an auditor.
Did I not put one in there?
Or is it?
Clerk, courts and elections, how's that?
Right there.
Okay, there we go. Oh, here's his auditor's front page.
And if I don't put it in there. The district court, not a lot of change there either.
Postage went up a little bit.
The postage has, yes.
Slightly.
And
Pretty well pulled the line on the rest of it. I'll help us first.
yeah. The elections, our equipment is sitting at 5 years now, this equipment, and it's usually good to change it out 6 to 7 years. Just to keep up with the, the computer side of it and the technical side. I did get a bid and it's about $300,000 to replace it with the next generation.
Wait another year.
I said we're waiting another year. There's just
Wait another 10 years.
10 years. Well, I've been banking money.
Yeah.
So I have about 150 to 180,000 saved for it. But I'm Not ready to do that. It has. It has gotten expensive, so I don't know what a year waiting will cost more, but we just, with the new server that we're having to purchase, this, just no way we could hit both of those at this time, so.
Wow.
And there's nothing wrong with the equipment, yeah.
No, it's just going to be outdated in 1 or 2
At some
years.
point, we no longer service this, or
Yeah.
we no longer send a program out to talk to that one.
So, and like I said, I've been making the money even from the beginning of when we switched to this. The last election budget, the election consolidation, that is all funded by the state for 78,000. Any other questions you may have?
You already did district court.
Yeah, we did. There wasn't a lot of change to that one.
Yeah, I need to stay close to you. Any questions for Glenn? Now we have to keep the same.
I'm
speed
ready.
too. Put it in the blender, turn it on, start around.
He runs the blender though.
All right.
And my department's always the last.
It's just always good to have department heads and electeds that actually focus on the budget and they understand that we can only do so much. Yes. Next up is dispatch, sheriff. Come on up.
It's under sheriff budget,
It is, yeah, there's a dispatch center.
sheriff's budget. Search and rescue.
There's not gonna be a lot of big changes. We're still waiting to onboard currently right now with the new state 911 system. Some of the bigger changes are gonna be with that, the state, we're not gonna get those every year. We used to have to apply for a grant with the state to help cover the 911 stuff. So all that will go away and it just all defaults to the state right out of the gate now. The state is the owner and the maintainer of the 911 lines and the ability to have those phone calls come in with this new agreement across the state. Iron is the company that was awarded the internet stuff, the fiber side of it. And so currently they're still up in another county trying to flush out some issues that they're having as they're onboarding. And then as soon as they get that finalized, then they're with Day Wireless and Motorola and get ours. So we're still waiting for that.
But we're next on the list.
We're next 1 or 2.
Next one is.
Yeah, they hope to be here in April. Obviously, that hasn't worked out. And then we're just finalizing, still kind of finishing up down in that dispatch room that we gutted and redid. And so White Cloud, the company that we purchased all the new radio equipment from, they should be coming here in the next week or 2 to install their portion of it. And then we're waiting on Motorola and Day Wireless for the next gen 911 after that. But as far as the overall budget for next fiscal year, this time, we're not going to see big changes there.
How is the remodel coming down in dispatch? Is it about done?
Yeah, the room's all but done. The tile guys will come back and put the kickboard on now that the cabinets are in. And then once they're done with that room's ready for equipment. Yeah, it's ready to go.
Have you had a chance at all to look at the OEM room at all? Is there any type of, remember we were down there and that's where we have dispatch.
That's where dispatch is now.
Oh, an EOC room right now?
Or EOC, I mean.
Oh, yeah, we're looking at it a lot. We're there every day. We're staring at it.
In your opinion,
Yeah, I think that whole room and then out in the hallway, I think there's some, definitely some upgrades that could happen there. And then, you know that down in that room is where we, facilitate drug testing. And so currently for that, there's the 2 bathrooms and that's the 2 bathrooms for the people doing the drug testing, for the individuals coming and doing that, and all the employees. And we have that really old kitchen that's not utilized for anything. My hope and my recommendation would be that if we were to do the EOC room, we would step out in that hall and turn that old kitchen into a bathroom shower for our employees. and make it so it's only accessed by them, and then we create a closet space, I think we could, for all the drug testing supplies, so they're not just in that hallway. And give that area,
A refresh.
a refresh, and then make it
It
better
needs a
for
refresh. It's pretty.
employees and for the EOC people when they're in doing their thing as well, provide them a space.
Put that on 2029. It's really, I mean, we've worked magic with this courthouse. I mean,
Yeah.
It's a beautiful building, a nice addition, and then you step down into that dungeon. Coming out into the front steps is pretty scary.
Yeah, and so the room that used to be driver's license outside dispatch, we've remodeled that along with the dispatch, and the sheetrockers are finishing up, fixing all the 80 years worth of holes in those walls. So they should be finished this week, and then the painter's gonna come back and finish, and the floors are in. And that room will be pretty nice. We were able to get a stove, a fridge, and a hood range for the dispatchers for that room, so they can have the ability to cook some good food rather than relying on takeout all the time for themselves. Make their 12-hour shift in that dungeon a little bit better to the degree we can.
Hey, any other questions on dispatch? Budget, I would like to ask, how did the golf tournament go for?
Yeah, it turned out good. We had about 11 teams, I think, in the end. There were 11. The team that won had some really good players, and one of them at one point in his life was some level of growth. So just up here just crushing it. Yeah. But it was good. The team that took second place, one of those dudes is on the Clifton City Council, and he's a funny man. He's like, you can't give us too credit. We bought a lot of screen. So, but I think people had a good time and raised some good money. Yeah, it's pretty good there. And then there were some good prizes. I think everybody had a good time. And we're super, super appreciative of everyone that came, obviously.
Perfect. Hey, if there's nothing else for the sheriff, thank you.
Very good.
Alan, you're here. Have you got anything for us?
Just give you a pulse on the commissioners. I saw my tax assessment that there was a budget hearing today to talk about the budget. Maybe that's not.
No, that one will be coming up on
August.
August. Yeah. We're just doing all the preliminaries now. And then
I like to go polls once in a while.
there you go. We like.
Always good to see you.
Somebody's got to keep an eye on us.
It's always good to see you. You're always smiling. Always.
Thanks for what you do. Thank you.
Okay, with that, we've made it through our regular agenda. We have an executive session. So if I could get a motion to go into executive.
I'd make the motion that we enter into executive session pursuant to Idaho Code 74-2061C to consider land acquisition.
I will second that motion.
Moved and seconded, roll call vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay,